Hey y'all, spiritual whistleblower here. I'm still resting and recuperating from nasty head cold, but it's too cold to be outside anyway. So I've just been in the house snacking and resting and healing. But I'm good, y'all. How y'all doing? Other than what the fuck is going on in the news? I mean, Mr. Cheeto Man just got sworn in as the president. And I mean, oh hell, he's what's it been, 4 days? They either need to impeach him. I don't know. He gotta go. He gotta go. And I hope y'all are boycotting all these businesses that supported his campaign. McDonald's, Target. Target hurt my heart because I love shopping at Target, but baby, they will not get any more of my money. Walmart, I love Walmart, will not get no more of my money. So many corporations. It's just unbelievable. No, we have to speak with our money, y'all. But it's just my brain. I don't know if I'm the only one. My brain is fried from just seeing nonstop stuff around Donald Trump in his supporters. He pardoned those criminals on January 6th. I can't even fathom. I can't even wrap my head around that one. He's got to go. I don't know. They need to set him up to get impeached. He not gonna last. He's not gonna last 4 years. I'm sorry. If I read one more thing about him in the news, he ain't been in office but for 3-4 days, and he is turning this country inside out. Canada said, "Fuck around and find out. We are going to shut the energy off in fucking what they say, New York. We'll take the energy back. Y'all ain't gonna have no motherfucking lights in New York." Was it Michigan? They done pissed off Canada. They done pissed off the governor of California. What the man? Oh my God, y'all. And his followers, this MAGA cult, they are the dumbest group of people. Oh my God. Lord help us all. But I'm down to support small businesses, small black businesses, local businesses. I'm just going to shop in my community and help people of color in their businesses. If I shop online, I'm going to shop directly from small businesses. I'm done with this shit. I'm about to be hiding. I'm a disassociate and hide for the next 4 years because this is too much, honey. Anyway, I wanted to, tell y'all the importance of documentation when it comes to a narcissist. I don't care if the narcissist is your mom, your dad, you're cutting your family off, especially if it's your spouse or your baby father. That's the only way you're going to catch a narcissist and get them in trouble. You have to have your documentation in order. I've been talking about mom and dad, narcissistic parents for the past 2 months because it's been incredibly helpful to a lot of people. I've done so much relationship content. I'm going to start doing relationships soon, guys. I know y'all love when I talk about, relationships, the side piece and having, co-parenting. Well, you don't co-parent with a narcissist, you counter-parent. But I'll get into relationships maybe next month, but I just been heavy on the family stuff. It's a lot of people suffering abuse from their mother and father still as adults. And it's mind boggling how many people struggle with dealing with their family members. So I've been staying more on, heavily on the content of dealing with narcissistic family members, narcissistic parents, siblings, etc. You have to document everything, honey. Why? Because when you decide to cut these people off, when you decide to walk away for good, whether that's your mother, father, grandparents, family, they're going to come after you with everything in their arsenal. Specifically, mom or dad. And it's usually the narcissistic. The narcissistic mothers are more hell bent on stalking you. Female narcissists are vicious. They are vicious. They are worse than the CIA. They will track you down. I find that the female narcissist is much more crazier. Don't get me wrong, the male narcissist is dangerous too. But female narcissist, that Jezebel spirit is something else, y'all. I've seen wickedness in women, and it's unbelievable. I was raised by a fucking Jezebel. So the importance of you documenting everything to cover your tail, I cannot stress how critical this is. I've helped a lot of my clients obtain restraining orders against their parents. I had one young lady in North Carolina. She was a single mom with 2 kids, and her parents, her mother and father, incredibly toxic, but they were married for like 30 years, long-term marriage. Y'all know how I feel about long-term marriages. Those are usually the most toxic marriages. They're heavily codependent, abusive, but they'll never divorce. Her parents were like that. They had a miserable marriage that they would both never divorce each other. They stalked her so bad. And I helped her, I basically guided her on how to obtain a restraining order against her father. Her father would walk into her home. Like, he would pop up anytime he want, just like violating boundaries all over the place. And it was driving her crazy. I said, girl, you need a restraining order. And if I were you, you need to start planning on how to relocate and move away. And her parents were friends. They were cool with her toxic baby father. So it all became a tag team effort. Her parents tag teamed up with her toxic narcissistic baby father. And they kept stalking her, popping up on her property, all this and that. I pushed her. I said, you press charges. A lot of people are scared to press charges against their parents. I don't know why. You're an adult now, and you're not obligated to deal with your parents anymore. And they are to respect your boundaries. By law, if you don't want them on your property, you don't want them around you, you can press charges and get a restraining order. So I pushed her and pushed her. I guided her. I said, go get the police, file that police report, tell them you want to. She took her parents to court, and the judge granted her a restraining order. She had evidence too, because I think she had either a Ring doorbell camera, her father pop up on the doorbell. That's why I tell y'all, get that Ring doorbell camera. That Ring doorbell records the motherfuckers that have no business. If they pop up on your porch, if they drive past your house, the Ring doorbell, it'll catch it on tape. And you can use that video footage as evidence when you file that goddamn police report and you obtain a restraining order. You better use that Ring doorbell footage. Absolutely. I don't be talking just to be talking. That's the first thing. What I do, this is what I teach people. If you're going to, especially if you live with your parents. If you live with your parents and you're trying to move into your own place because they're too controlling, they're abusive, they're squeezing a lot of rent money out of you, they all in your business, they're making your life miserable. What I tell people is, once you move into your new apartment, you are to send a text message out. The text message should say, Mom, Dad, I've moved into a new apartment. I'm safe. I'm not missing. Please do not search for me. There's no need to call the police and file a missing persons report. You would be filing a false report. I am requesting that you leave me alone, stay away from me, or else I will file charges for stalking, trespassing, and harassment. This is your warning to stay away from me. Do not pop up to my house. Stay away from my job. Stay away from my kids, or else there will be consequences. You send that text message to all of them, and then you change your phone number so they cannot contact you any further. Wait, you make sure that they read it. You got to have the read receipt on. So once it shows that they read the message at the bottom, read receipt, you change your number. So now you've given them a documented warning. They have a written warning, a text message. They've been warned to stay away from you, or else there'll be consequences. You will press charges. And there's no need for them to call the police worried. Oh, she's missing. Oh, she's having a mental breakdown. No. No, 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 no. You've informed them you're safe. You've moved into a new place and you just choose not to share that information with them. You don't want to be bothered with them. And you might want to say something in the text message to allude to the fact that you've abused me my entire life and I don't want to be around you anymore. I'm tired of the abuse. Stay away from me. You got to document and word that text message very, very strategically, because trust, they're going to violate your boundaries in the future. And should you need to go before a judge, you can show that judge, listen, Your Honor, I sent them a text message. I warned them to leave me alone. My parents have abused me my whole life. I don't want a relationship with them. I just want them to leave me alone. And they keep violating my boundaries. So unfortunately, I would like to get a restraining order to make them abide by, you know what I mean? You got to stick it to them. But you need documentation. Narcissists are crazy when it comes to the courtroom. Like narcissists, they're so delusional and they're so arrogant. I went through this with my mother. She did the same. She pulled the same stunt with my brother. Before she took me to court and tried to get a restraining order and lost, the shit got thrown out. She tried to bully my brother. She filed fake charges and dragged him into the court to try to get, try to get him locked up or either get a restraining order against him. And my brother told me, he said, the judge was not buying it. The judge threw it out. And my mother had like this meltdown in the courtroom. She went off, became unhinged. So she has a history of just like trying to bully her way. These narcissists think they can go into a courtroom and say whatever they want and the judge is just going to believe them. No, in the court of law, it's called discovery. The process of discovery is where the evidence is presented. You have to come with your receipts, documents, and evidence. That's what the judge wants to see. The judge doesn't do the he say, she say. The judge wants to see the evidence. So the narcissist likes to do a lot of rah, rah, rah. They like to run their mouths. Your Honor, I can't stand her. She do this and then, Your Honor, we think she's mentally ill. Your Honor, she's a bad mother. Your Honor, this, Your Honor, that. The judge does not want to hear it. It's not going to fly in court. The judge wants to see concrete evidence, documentation, whatever. Don't think you're going to go up in the courtroom with all that rah, rah, rah. That's what the narcissist does. I'll take it a step further. Y'all see how Jay-Z, when the 13-year-old woman, the little girl, she's now a woman now, this whole lawsuit with Jay-Z raping a 13-year-old girl, his behavior in the very beginning told me he was guilty. He's going to end up paying that girl. He's going to have to pay her because he did that shit. He did that shit 100%. The way that he came out blasting, he's on some bully shit and hiring private investigators to interrogate and bully the other lawyer, Tony Busby, and his clients. Jay-Z is a bully. And Jay-Z tried to, get the judge, you need to throw this out. Throw the case out. She's lying. She's lying. That judge checked the fuck out of Jay-Z. That judge said, hold up, motherfucker. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck if you're Jay-Z. I don't care that you're a millionaire. This is my courtroom, and what I say goes. I'm not throwing out the case. We're going to move forward with the case. The victim is going to remain anonymous because she was a child at the time that she was raped, allegedly. We're going to move forward because I would like to see the evidence come out in discovery. Sit your ass the fuck down and stop trying to be a fucking bully. That judge checked the fuck out of Jay-Z. Jay-Z is a huge narcissist, and this is what narcissists do. That narcissist knows that they abused you, and they are terrified of the evidence coming out. They're terrified of being exposed. So they'll do things coercively to try to stop you from further exposing them. I've gone through this with my mother repeatedly. She has tried repeatedly. Over the years, calling Child Protective Services. I got to tell y'all about one time. I've told y'all many stories. I got to tell y'all another story where she found my daughter's school. My daughter has a disability. And this was when she was in middle school. And she had to give her teacher's a complete asshole. It was a dude. He had to sign medical papers for her. I don't know if it was a medical release form that he had to sign. I forget what it was. It happened so long ago. She was in fourth grade, I believe, fourth or fifth grade. And he was teaching class, and he had to use one of those overhead projectors. He took my daughter's medical papers and put it on the projector, and the whole class saw what her diagnosis was. He humiliated her and embarrassed her so bad. I got to dig up the story. So I raised hell. I contacted all the news stations. One of the news stations ended up interviewing me and my daughter, and we exposed him. All the parents were furious because that's a HIPAA violation. So we were all over the news for, and I had lawyers involved in everything. I confided in one of my aunts, my mother's sister, and that's when I had to cut my aunt off because they ran back and gossiped to my mother. My mother found my daughter's school and called the school principal, and she's a terrible mother. She didn't call the school to support my daughter in the fact that she was humiliated. She didn't call the school to support me. She called the school to talk against me, to tell the school principal that I was a horrible mother. So let me tell you something. That's what narcissists do. They coercively try to bully their way around. They try to intimidate and coercively do things. They try to weaponize the court system, make fake police reports. They do things so underhandedly, but they're vicious with it, and they won't let up. So what they think they're grandiose and bigger than God, and they can go into anybody's courtroom and say, arrest this person, Your Honor, put this person in jail, Your Honor, put my daughter in a mental hospital, Your Honor, give me a restraining order against my daughter, Your Honor, do this. They think they can go into a courtroom and tell a judge what the fuck to do. Just like Jay-Z thought he could order the judge around. A judge checked this. No, bitch, no. This is my courtroom. This is my motherfucking courtroom. I'm not throwing out no case, Jay-Z. We're going to move forward with the case. You're going to sit your fucking ass down. I want to see the evidence come out in discovery. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck if you're a billionaire. Sit your narcissistic, psychopathic ass the fuck down. She checked the fuck out of Jay-Z. And that's what I had to do with my mother, because my mother tried to obtain a restraining order, and she tried to use one of my videos against me, and it backfired. She thought she was just going to run up into the courtroom. Your Honor, I need a restraining order because I'm terrified of my daughter. And the judge said, no, ma'am. Let's review the evidence. She just knew. Because she filed, when I read the police report and she made all these false allegations that she's intimidated and scared of me. And I said, bitch, I have not stepped foot in your house in over 15 years. I don't attend funerals, family functions. You can't pay. Ain't none of my family. Let me tell y'all something. It's been 15 years. There is not a single family member that can sit up here and say that I've held a phone conversation. There are no text messages. Nobody can produce any text messages. Nobody can use anything against me because I don't communicate with my family. It's like they don't exist. So she can't even bring family members into the courtroom as witnesses and use them against me because I don't talk to family at all. At all. There is zero evidence against me. All she has is my videos. She'll try to use my YouTube videos against me, and it backfired because the judge was like, no, ma'am, she's not threatening you. It's in the case that you confront me and I have to defend myself, then shit will pop off. Case dismissed. Bye. So I say this to say, y'all, when you cut your family off, cover your tail every step of the way. Have your paperwork, your receipts in order, honey, because you're going to need them. And don't give up fighting. You have to literally, it is very exhausting, but you got to tire the narcissist out. I have tired my mother out. I want all the smoke because what she tried to do, every time she comes for me, she gets shut down every time. It's like, bitch, when are you going to give up? When are you going to give up? You don't control me. We will never have a relationship ever again. I don't want to be around you. I don't care if you're dying in the hospital, honey. I will not be present at your funeral. I don't want none of your possessions. Baby, it's over. It's done. It's one and done. Let it go, sweetie. You cannot use the court system against me. You cannot go around saying I'm mentally ill, because let's just say, listen, y'all, let's just say she were to try to get me involuntarily admitted into a psych hospital. She has to prove that. She has to prove that I am a threat to myself. She has to tell the police, I believe my daughter's going to harm herself. My daughter's mentally ill. There's something wrong. The police going to have to assess the situation. When the police knock at my door, and I do have friends, by the way, in the police force. I have female police officers, both retired and currently in the force, NYPD, that watch my content and they love I got stopped in the street a couple months ago by a police officer, a black woman. She was on duty, and she said, "Come here, girl. I love your content. Take my number." My mother doesn't understand. I got friends in high places. I know the law. That's why she's going to lose every time. But, let's just say she tries to drag me into court to have the judge put me into a hospital. It's called involuntarily, putting a loved one in the psych hospital because they're a threat to themselves. Baby, the way that my receipts and paperwork are lined up to shut her down, it's not going to get to that point, but if it ever does, Your Honor, I am autistic, but autism is not a mental illness. It's a developmental disability. And my parents failed to get me diagnosed. I'm just now learning that I'm autistic at the age of 49. So my mother and father failed. If that's what my mother is referring to as a mental illness, then she's misguided. If she claims that I was mentally ill as a child, then where is her paperwork? Where is some form of documentation showing that she or my father took me to the doctor to have me evaluated? Where is the paperwork? You cannot throw around mental illness and there's no diagnosis. What exactly is my diagnosis? Is it bipolar? Is it OCD? Is it schizophrenia? You cannot throw mental illness around. There's many types of mental illness. Be specific, woman. Come right with your paperwork in the courthouse if you're going to prove that I'm a harm or a threat to myself. But Chanel, on the other hand, oh, baby. All I got to do, it's on record that she abused me. Columbia, South Carolina, my school, I went to AC Flora High School. My guidance counselor wrote up, it's in my archives, my student archives. My guidance counselor wrote up the reports and they contacted Richland County Department of Social Services. An investigation was opened up on my mother and they kept the investigation open for an entire year. And in that investigation, they named her husband, dirty, disgusting pedophile. Both of their names are listed in the report for conducting child abuse and sexual assault. It's still on record in Columbia, South Carolina right now. That's a receipt. So, Your Honor, I have CPTSD. My current therapist has diagnosed me with CPTSD, which is complex post-traumatic stress disorder, as a result of my mother abusing me my entire childhood. My mother is an ableist. She did not attend to my needs as a child to get me the care that I needed as a child with autism. Instead, she beat me, bullied me. She did drugs around me. I can bring my brother in here. She also beat and abused my brother. So as a result, I have received treatment for the damage my mother has caused me, and my therapist has strongly recommended that I have no relationship with my mother. She is the root and cause of all my pain. Here's some documentation from my therapist. So I am currently receiving treatment. Oh, and here is also record of the child abuse from Columbia, South Carolina, to prove that she's an abuser and an ableist. She don't want the fucking smoke with me. Because my documentation is in order, honey. She cannot use my videos against me. My YouTube platform is where I get to tell my story my way. I have been silenced all my life. And that is what YouTube has provided for every survivor of narcissistic abuse. It's many of people like myself that utilize their channels, their YouTube channels, to talk about the abuse they suffered from their mothers and fathers and their lovers. Narcissistic abuse is a very popular topic in the YouTube community. We have many doctors and therapists all have channels. We have survivors, of sexual assault, children, adults that were molested by all types of people as children. Why are there all these lawsuits now against these priests? These adults, people my age, Gen X, we're coming forward and we're exposing our abusers. So for an abuser like my mother or Jay-Z to try to coercively bully their way and try to silence you, and they don't have their documentation together because the only way that they can do things is to bully you, to get you to be quiet or silent because they're scared of your evidence. They know you have evidence. They don't want the evidence to come out. But that's the only thing that's going to save y'all. If you can avoid contact with your family, and trust and believe, anything you say and do with your family can be used against you. I don't advise text messaging. Stay out of the family group chats. I gotta sneeze. I don't even know why some of y'all participate. I hate group chats. A fucking group chat is the quickest way to get ganged up on by a bunch of narcissists. Narcissists love them Facebook groups. They love private group chats. I do not fuck around. That's why I deleted my Facebook page. You'll never catch me in a Facebook group. And any narcissistic abuse life coach that has a private Facebook group, never trust them. That is where covert narcissists thrive, in these Facebook chat groups. So if your family has a group chat, trust and believe it's just a private, secret, sneaky way where they can all gang up on one person, the scapegoat. Stay out of the group chats, y'all. And just know, when you're texting family and you call yourself venting, it will be used against you. Do not text family. Do not call and leave voicemails. Change your number. Some of y'all got to learn the hard way. That auntie that you love so much that you think won't turn on you, yeah, she'll turn on you. That cousin that you think you're tight with, yeah, will turn on you. Cut the family off and see how they come together. The ones that you thought were cool with you, we're going to help your mother and father come against you. Y'all better stop letting these motherfuckers play in your face. Have your evidence together. Get a Ring doorbell camera. Any emails? You may even want to send an email and warn family. Put something in writing so that if you have to go to the police, you can say, listen, they've been warned. Here it is in writing. I sent a text message. I sent an email and told them to leave me the fuck alone. Otherwise, I would go to the police. And you can show the judge the same thing. Start standing on business. Document everything. The narcissist knows they abused you. Their biggest fear is being exposed, especially in the court of law. I stay locked and loaded. I'm sitting on a pile. Same thing with my daughter's father. This is why I beat him every time in court. He knows. My daughter's father knows I am sitting on a stack of receipts. I will expose him so fucking bad. He just cooperates. Pay me my money. Keep paying me my child support and we will have no issues. Otherwise, you're going to get exposed. I win every time. Narcissists do not want to be exposed. So if your family members know you're sitting on documentation and receipts that could expose them, don't be afraid to use it against them. I'm interested to see what's going to happen with who's the young lady? Is it Ashley from the Braxtons, the niece that got molested? Her father is trying to stop her. He's threatening her with legal action because she exposed the family's dirty secrets. Is her name Ashley Braxton? She's one of the Braxtons. That family is so sneaky and shisty. That's why Tracy Braxton passed away because her family, they bullied her so bad. I hope they pay, all of them. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Has any of you, I'll ask you this. Have you ever had to go to court, whether it's your family or a baby daddy or a spouse, an ex, and you had your paperwork lined up and you shut them down in court, but they went in there thinking they could bully or tell the judge what to do? They went in there with half-ass evidence, thinking they could win. That's how delusional they are. And they got checked by the judge. Let me know. Let's have a conversation in the comment section. I love you guys. Until next time.